Okay, so you sent over some really interesting stuff on essentialism. And if you're listening and feeling, totally swamped, like your to-do list is running you, this deep dive is definitely for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our mission today, digging into the book Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less, is basically to figure out how to cut through all that noise. How can focusing on what really matters help us achieve more by actually doing less? Sounds kind of backward, but
It does, but it's fascinating. Right off the bat, there's this core idea, the principle of choice. It's not about just being busy, It's realizing you can choose where your attention goes. It's like
yeah.
an active decision, choosing the vital few things over the trivial many that just clutter everything up.
Okay, so we can choose. That makes sense. But how? How do we actually make those choices effectively? I mean, with everything screaming for our attention, how do we sift through it all and really pinpoint what deserves our focus, both, at work and just in life generally?
Yeah, that's the tricky part. That's where discerning the vital few comes in. It's crucial. You need to ask yourself some tough questions, like, if I could only be truly great at one thing right now, what would it be? Or maybe, which activities actually give me energy versus just draining me? It means being really selective and honestly, sometimes a bit ruthless about what you commit to.
Ruthless.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. That sounds intense. Does that mean we basically need to become masters of saying no? Because let's be real, that's hard for a lot of us.
Oh, absolutely. The power of no is huge here. Think about it. Every time you say yes to something non-essential, you're kind of implicitly saying no to something that could be way more important.
Ah, got that.
So yeah, politely but firmly turning down requests that just don't align with your main goals.
Yeah.
That protects your time, your energy for what really, moves the needle.
Okay, so it sounds like essentialism forces us to make some pretty deliberate trade-offs then. It's not really about trying to have it all, is it?
Exactly. That's a key point. It recognizes that trying to do everything just dilutes your impact, making conscious trade-offs. It means understanding that if you really focus hard on one thing, you probably have to let go of other opportunities, even if they seem good.
It all sounds very intentional. You mentioned something in the notes about creating space to explore. Why is that so important? Building in that seemingly unproductive time.
Well, the thing is, that space for reflection, for just thinking, it isn't wasted time at all. It's actually essential for getting clear.
Right.
It's in those quiet moments you can really figure out what is vital. Otherwise, you're just reacting all the time, not like proactively choosing your path.
But that feels so counterintuitive, though. We're always told, hustle culture, be busy, constant activity equals progress. I remember reading about, play and sleep being important. How do they fit into doing less to achieve more?
Yeah, see, that connects to our overall well-being and effectiveness. Things like play, getting enough sleep. They aren't distractions. They're actually what fuel our ability to focus and perform at our peak when we are working on those essential tasks. They replenish our resources.
So it's not just about cutting stuff out, but maybe strategically adding things that help us focus better on what's left. Okay. Now, what about purpose? You mentioned finding purpose helps identify what's essential.
Definitely. Your purpose acts kind of like a compass or a North Star. When you're faced with a bunch of options, asking yourself, which of these best aligns with my core purpose, can instantly clarify what's truly essential versus what's just noise or a distraction.
Okay, so big picture.
Yeah.
If we embrace this essentialism idea, choosing consciously, saying no strategically, making trade-offs, creating that space, connecting with our purpose, we can actually get more done
Yeah.
of the stuff that matters.
Precisely. You focus your limited energy on the vital few, and that leads to greater impact, greater satisfaction, across the board, work, personal life, all of it.
Right, so listener, think about this for a second. Considering everything we just talked about, what's maybe one area in your life where applying just one of these essentialist principles could make a real difference? Maybe it's just identifying one non-essential thing you could say no to this week. Or even just scheduling 10 minutes to sit quietly and think.
Yeah, and that brings up a final thought. What if we reframe essentialism? Maybe it's not really about restriction, but actually about liberation. Like, by focusing only on the essential, you free up so much more time and energy for what genuinely brings you joy and allows you to make your most significant contribution. What if that's the real goal?
Liberation through focus. I like that. Here's to uncovering your vital few and hopefully building a life with more impact and less overwhelm. Thanks for exploring this deep dive with us today.